Hi, once again, welcome to SST Chemistry YouTube channel. Once again, welcome to SST Chemistry YouTube channel. This is the 18th lecture on BCC, Basic Concepts in Chemistry, and that is Stoichiometry, Solution Stoichiometry Part 2. In this program, we shall be discussing varieties of ways how to find the concentration of a solution, particularly aqueous solution. In the previous video, we had discussed vividly on the equivalent concept applied to different types of compounds. Now, to find the concentration of a solution, we must know that a solution has two components. One is liquid, that is a solvent, that is present in large quantity. The solvent is present in large quantity, and the solute, which is present in smaller proportion. The solute can be a solid which will dissolve in the liquid solvent to form a solution, or the solute can be liquid. For example, sulfuric acid solution in water. Sulfuric acid is a liquid, water is a liquid. So the sulfuric acid solution that we use in the laboratory, it is a liquid-liquid mixture. And sugar solution, glucose solution, sodium chloride solution. These glucose, sucrose, sodium chloride, these are solids. And such solutions are solid liquid mixture. And the concentration, that is the proportion of solute with respect to solvent, with respect to solution, can be expressed in several ways. We shall be knowing all these different ways how to express the concentration, how dilute a solution is, how concentrated a solution is, their exact proportion that will be expressed in some form, some particular expression. We shall know all of them. The concentration of solution indicates the amount of solute present in a fixed quantity of solution or solvent. It gives the idea about the solute-solvent proportion present in the solution. In solution stoichiometry that we are going to start from the next video, the solution stoichiometry, we shall mostly use water as the solvent. Hence, the concentrations are of aqueous solutions. The first way to express the concentration is percent strength. There can be three types of percent strengths. W by W, that is mass by mass percent. It was called weight by weight percent. But I'm not using the term weight nowadays, because you guys will definitely find fault, logical fault, because weight is a force. So I refrain myself to use the word weight. And I think in some cases, some places I might have done by mistake. But most of the time I try to say mass for weight. So this is the mass percent, M by M or W by W. It is often called weight percent or mass percent. And the second one is the volume percent, W by V or M by V, W by V percent. This is called the volume percent. I remind you that we are dealing with liquid solutions. Do not confuse with gaseous solution. Gaseous solution, you must first distinguish between what kind of volume you are dealing with. The solution, the volume that data you will find in a numerical, what kind of volume data is it? Is it a liquid solution data or a gaseous mixture data or gaseous volume data? Because the approach will be completely different. In gaseous volume, we will be using molar volume 22.4 liters at STP. But in aqueous volume or liquid volume, the 22.4 liter concept will not be applicable, right? And the third one is volume by volume, volume to volume percent. We shall be discussing these things in details now. The important note you must remember, the volume here is a liquid volume and to be never ever confused with gaseous volume. Now let's first take off what is W by W or M by M percent, mass or weight percent. It is the mass of the solute, maybe liquid solute or solid solute. Mass of the solute present in 100 gram solution. I repeat, solution. Solvent plus solute is equal to solution. So for every 100 grams of the solution, how much gram of solute is present? That is nothing but mass percent or W by W percent. Mass percent, mass by mass percent is equal to mass of the solute in gram by mass of the solution in gram into 100. For example, calculate the W by W percent of a sulfuric acid solution prepared by adding 20 grams of pure sulfuric acid with 60 gram water. Now when 60 gram is mass of pure water solvent, 60 plus 20, the mass of the solution becomes 80. So in 80 grams of solution, we have 20 grams of pure solute. Then 100 grams of solution contains how much of the pure solute? That is 20 by 80 into 100, 25%. Or you can directly apply the formula. Mass by mass percent is equal to mass of the solute in gram, 20, divided by mass of the solution, 80. I'm so sorry. This is 80 divided by 100. So that comes to be 25%. This is 4 and 25%. So such a solution of sulfuric acid can be branded as 25% W by W. Now let us take up W by V percent. What does it mean? It means the mass of the solute present. Mass is common in the numerator, both in W by W and W by V. So the mass of solute present in 100 milliliter solution, this time volume. In 100 milliliter solution, what is the mass of the solute? That is the W by V percent. Now to find it in a equation form, mass by volume percent is equal to mass of the solute in gram by volume of the solution in milliliters into 100. So don't take it liter. Always take milliliter into 100. So that is the definition. In 100 ml solution, that is the definition. How much grams of solute is present, right? So here you have to take milliliter. For example, how much glucose is present in 80 ml glucose solution if the solution has a W by V percent equal to 20%. If a particular glucose solution is branded as 20% in between bracket W by V, then what is the mass of glucose present in 80 milliliter of the solution? Now, if we go in a unitary method, if 100 ml solution contains 20 gram of glucose because it is 20% W by V, then 80 ml solution contains how much glucose? 20 by 100 into 80, 16 gram. Or else you can write down, you can find out W by V percent is equal to mass of the solute, that is 20, by mass of the solution 100 into 80. That means here we are finding out the mass of the solute. Now here I would like to make a correction here in presence of you, so it will be better for you to understand. Now see what I am doing here. This is given and this is 20%. So 20% is equal to mass of the solute you want to find out, X. How much? X divided by volume of the solution is 80 ml into 100. So which implies X is equal to 20 into 80 by 100, that is equal to 16 gram. Right? So any method you can adopt, unitary method or the direct formula method, your choice. See, how to interconvert between W by W percent and W by V percent, because these two are the two ways to express the concentration. A particular solution can be expressed either in terms of W by W percent or W by V percent. So if you know one, then the other can be known. If you know, can you tell me what? Can you tell me what? If you know the density of the solution data, density of the solution. See, the density of solution is required to convert W by W percent to W by V percent or vice versa. Let's see. Find the W by V percent of a sulfuric acid solution. When I say any acid, it means a solution, which is 98% W by W. Its concentration or strength is in W by W is given. You are asked to find in W by V. If the density of the solution is 1.8 gram per milliliter. Now, if M by V is the density, since it is a W by W percent that data is given, let us, for our convenience, keep the mass of the solution as 100. You can take X, no harm. You can take 1000, no harm. But since it is a 98%, so 100 gram solution contains 98 gram pure H2SO4. So therefore, if you take 100 gram as the mass of the solution, you find what is V. V is equal to, this comes down, becomes as low as 55.55 milliliter. 100 gram solution will occupy a much smaller volume, 55.55, because the solution is highly dense, heavy, density is so high, 1.8 gram per milliliter, right? So once we know the volume of the solution, then we can apply the formula method. W by V percent is the mass of the solute, that is 98 gram, by the volume of the solution, just now got it, this into 100. Because if 100 gram contains 98 gram, 55.55 ml contains 98 gram. Because 55.55 ml is the volume of 100 gram solution. That is why I told you to take mass is equal to 100 for our convenience. If you take X, then again you have to find out, the mass of the solution in X. If 100 gram contains 98, then X gram contains what? 98. 98X by 100. Then you put this to convert it into volume. So you also get in terms of X. So you when you find the W by V percent, XX get cancelled. So what is the fun of doing all these calculations unnecessarily? Now see, by unitary method, you can also approach. If by chance you feel that I may get confused or the ratio will be inverted, so you don't want to run a risk, then you can do the unitary method. That's the best choice. Of course, takes time. So if 55.55 ml solution contains 98 gram of the pure solute, then 100 ml solution contains how much? 98 by 55.55 into 100. So this is 176.41 point. So the W by V percent is so high. Remember, W by V percent of a particular solution is greater than W by W percent, because the density will definitely be greater than 1. So if density is definitely greater than 1, then the volume will be definitely less than 100. If the volume is less than 100, that is in the denominator, then definitely the W by V percent will be greater than W by W percent, right? Now take this example. Find the W by W percent solution of nitric acid having W by V percent 60. Here opposite data is given. W by V percent is given and you are asked to find out W by W percent. And either of the cases you have to have density data. Density of this solution is 1.37 gram per cm3. Now here, since the W by V percent is given, volume, let's take 100 ml deliberately for our convenience. So if 100 ml a volume solution, what is the mass? It will be multiplied directly here. So 100 ml solution will weigh 137 gram. That means the 60 grams of the pure solute, that is nitric acid, present in 137 gram of the solution. That means if you are asked to find out what is the mass of water, then 137 minus 60, that will give you the mass of water. But we don't need it. We don't need it now. So let us use by formula method. Mass of the solute is 60 by the mass of the solution is 137. Because the volume of solution was 100 ml, it contains 60 gram. So the 100 ml is equal to 137 gram. So now W by W percent is 60 by this into 100 is 43.795. Did you notice that W by V percent is 60 but W by W percent is less, 43.795. Because the density is not as high as the previous case, therefore they are not widely different. But in earlier case, the W by W was 98% and W by V was 176 something percent. Understand? Or you can do it by unitary method. If 137 gram of the solution contains 60 gram, then 100 gram contains this by this into 100. Same. Which you like, formula or unitary? Choice is yours. See. Another one which is less common in application, very less common in stoichiometric calculation, is V by V, volume by volume percent. It is defined as it is the volume of the solute. It has to be a liquid solute. Because solution, the two has to mix homogeneously. So here the volume of the solute is a liquid volume. So that volume present in 100 milliliter of the solution. 100 milliliter of the solution, not 100 ml of the solvent, 100 ml of the solution. That means the total volume should be 100 ml. Let me tell you one little thought-provoking thing at this time, because those things will be discussed in greater details later in your solutions chapter, colligative properties chapter, ideal solution chapter, non-ideal solution chapter later, not now, that when you add two liquids, they will mix thoroughly to form a homogeneous mixture, but the two volumes may not add to give you the final volume. For example, 50 ml of pure water when mixed with 50 ml of pure sulfuric acid, both are liquids, will not result 100 ml. 50 plus 50 is not 100 because the two have different densities. So they will not mix ideally to form the total volume equal to the sum of the individual volumes. Therefore, we don't say 100 milliliter of solvent. We say 100 ml of solution. The volume of the solution data has to be given. Otherwise, it is wrong to conceive or to assume that the sum of the solute liquid and solvent liquid will be equal to the actual volume of the mixture, right? But when you are dealing with aqueous solutions, you are adding two aqueous solutions and that to dilute solutions. In that case, we shall see later in this program, we will see that when you add two aqueous solutions which are having a dilute aqueous solutions, the concentrations are not so high. In that case, the two will be added up. Simply they will be added up and the volume of the mixture will be same as the sum of the volumes of the individual liquid solutions. We have to neglect any volume change. But here when the two are pure liquids, we cannot say that liquid plus liquid volume will be same as the actual volume of the mixture, right? So let us not go into further details. This is not the same V by V percent that we dealt in gaseous mixture. You remember that in gaseous state, in a gaseous mixture, there was a term called volume fraction, which is equal to mole fraction. So that concept is completely different. This is not gaseous state. This is liquid volume. So here the V by V percent is nothing in common with the V by V percent in the gaseous mixture, where there in that case it is the mole fraction of that component. Here it is not the mole fraction of that component, right? It's not gaseous state. That the volume is directly proportional to the number of moles. It's not the case here. So this is a mixture of liquid solvent with a liquid solute. So that concept, volume by volume percent, that was applicable for gaseous mixture will not hold good here. Understand? Right. Now the examples are sulfuric acid water, ethanol water, ethylene glycol water. These are the liquid mixtures, and for them we have another way of expressing the concentrations, V by V. Volume by volume percent is equal to volume of the solute, liquid solute in milliliters, volume of the solution in milliliters into 100. 10% ethyl alcohol solution means 10 ml pure ethyl alcohol is present in 100 ml of aqueous solution of it. It doesn't mean the solution contains 90 ml of pure water. It may contain 89 milliliter of pure water, but when the 89 plus 10 adds, it becomes 100 ml. So those things we'll be knowing in future programs. Now let's take up an example. 10 ml of sulfuric acid is mixed with water to form 75 ml solution. Did you notice? 75 ml solution, not 75 milliliter water. To make 75 plus 10, 85. No. 10 ml plus X, the remaining water, the mixture will amount to 75 ml. Find V by V percent. So it's very simple. Volume of the liquid solute by volume of the mixture into 100 is 13.33%. Note that 10 ml of sulfuric acid mixed with 65 ml of water may not add to 75 ml, as the two do not mix ideally. So volume of solution data is required here. Otherwise, density of the solution along with mass of the solution data are required to find the volume of the solution. If the volume of the solution is not given, mass of the solution is given, and density of the solution is given, we can find out the volume data, volume of the solution. Example. No, this is not an example. This is an application. 35% V by V ethylene glycol. Ethylene glycol is a dihydric alcohol. There are two OH groups you will study in your organic program. So ethylene glycol mixed with water, 35 milliliter of ethylene glycol and remaining water to make the solution volume 100 ml. That is called 35% V by V, is used as a coolant in carburetors, in car engines. So such a solution has a very low freezing point. So as low as minus 17.6 degree Celsius, so that when you drive your car, go up the hill where the temperature is sub-zero, there the carburetor water doesn't freeze. If the carburetor water will freeze into ice, then the fan will not run and the cooling will not happen, right? Therefore, the freezing point of water is lowered by such a large amount, because the freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. It has been lowered by 17.6 degree. That has happened because ethylene glycol is present there. And how and why it has happened, you will study in your colligative properties chapter later, not in this program. And another way to express is parts per million. Parts per million, that is ppm, or parts per billion. Parts per billion is ppb. The ppm gives the mass of the solute present in 1 million or 10 to the power 6 gram of solution. This is what is analogous to W by W type. W by W ppm, or 1 milliliter solution, that is W by V ppm. So there are two types of ppms and ppbs, W by W, W by V, and you can yourself find out from the data given in any numerical whether it is W by W type or W by V type. But never ever you find the density data, because ppb and ppm, they are used only to express very, very low concentrations, particularly say for some gases dissolved in water bodies like oxygen, dissolved oxygen in water. That is so small, so such concentrations are not expressed as W by V percent or W by W percent. It is expressed as ppb or ppm. And many contaminants like lead ion, copper ion, mercuric ion present in drinking water, they are so low that they are expressed in terms of ppm or ppb. So because such a dilute solution, the density is very close to 1. Density of that aqueous solution containing a trace quantity of such a contaminant is very, very close to 1. Therefore, W by W ppm or ppb is nearly same as W by V ppm or ppb, because 1000 or 10 to the power 6, 1 million grams of such a solution is approximately equal to 1 million milliliters or cm3, because the density is almost equal to 1. These units, yes, ppb gives the mass of the solute present in 1 billion or 10 to the power 9 grams or 10 to the power 9 milliliters of solution. These units are used when concentration of solute in aqueous solution is very low. That means it is present in trace quantities. Trace, very small quantities. For example, dissolved oxygen in water bodies, for example, 6 ppm. Usually, 6 ppm is the concentration of oxygen in water bodies. And due to pollution, this level is decreasing, and the aquatic life is in danger. And that means 6 gram of oxygen is present in 1 million grams of water, or 1 million milliliters of water. 1 million milliliters is almost the same as million grams, but there is a slight difference. For example, you take seawater. Seawater density is not very, very low. I mean, it's not exactly equal to 1. It has got high concentration of many minerals, including our common salt, table salt. So its density is 1.09. So W by W ppm and W by V ppm, if you analyze seawater and try for sodium chloride, it will be different. But for contaminants present in drinking water, or if you take some dissolved gases in water, they are very, very low, can be best explained or expressed by ppm or ppb. You can know whether it is W by W ppm or W by V ppm in a numerical by looking to the data. Just wait, hold on, we'll solve some problems. That is, the volume data is given or the mass data is given. From that you can know whether it is W by W ppm or W by V ppm. In a very dilute solution, the two are close to each other. The two values, W by W ppm or W by V ppm, they are very close. Now see, parts per million ppm is equal to mass of the solute in gram, mass of the solution in gram into 10 to the power 6, or mass of the solute in gram, volume of the solution in ml, milliliters, into 10 to the power 6. Let's take this example. Density of seawater, it is 1.03, not 0.9. So 1.03 is detectably different from, not appreciably, but detectably different from pure water. So density of seawater is this. If 1 liter of seawater contains 6 into 10 to the minus 3 gram of dissolved oxygen, find the concentration of oxygen in ppm, both W by W and W by V. What do you conclude? So the density is given m by v. So mass is equal to volume. Let's take 1 liter. 1 liter means 1000 ml. 1000 ml or 1 liter of seawater will weigh 1030 gram. So there is an excess of 30 gram. 1000 milliliter. Volume wise 1 liter, mass wise it is 1030 gram. Now if you find the usual ppm, that is W by W, mass of oxygen dissolved, that is this, divided by mass of the solution, that is 1030, because this is in 1 liter. 1 liter, mind you, this is 1 liter. So 1 liter is weighing 1030 grams into 10 to the 6. So the ppm level of oxygen in seawater is as low as 5.82. Because if you want to find W by V ppm, then mass will be the same, and here instead of mass it is volume, 1 liter into 10 to the 6. It is 6 ppm. So these two are not exactly same. They are nearly same. But whether you are interested in W by W ppm or W by V ppm, the data itself will speak. Hold on. In ppb, this is parts per billion. This should be ppb. In a cut and paste mode, I have forgotten to change it to ppb. I'm so sorry. Better late than never. ppb. ppb. So ppb is same. Mass of the solute, mass of the solution into 10 to the 9. Still dilute solution concentrations are expressed in ppb. In 1 billion grams of a certain solution or aqueous solution, how many grams of the solute is present? Or in 1 billion milliliters of the solution, aqueous solution, how much solute is present? Same. Then we go, how many different ways of concentrations we have discussed so far? 1. W by W percent, 2. W by V percent, 3. V by V percent, that is restricted to liquid-liquid mixture, and now ppm and ppb. The fifth way is mole fraction. That I'm sure you know. Mole fraction of a particular component A, for example, XA, is equal to the number of moles of that component, Na, divided by the total number of moles of all the components, Na plus Nb plus Nc, all the components. Or in a mathematical way, the mole fraction of ith component is the number of moles of the ith component by sigma Ni, or the sum of the individual moles of all the components, right? Supposing there are two components in a mixture, a liquid mixture, and that too we are talking of an aqueous solution, and there are two components, one is liquid, the other one may be solid, or the one may be gas, or other one may be another liquid. But here we are not dealing with gas liquid mixture. We are keeping it reserved for a separate class. It is either liquid or solid liquid, right? So if mole fraction of A, component A is XA, is the number of moles of A by total number of moles of A and B. Similarly, the mole fraction of B is the number of moles of B by the total number of moles. Or since the sum of all the fractions is equal to 1, then if you find the mole fraction of one component, the other component can be immediately found by subtracting the mole fraction of the first component from 1. These things are known to you, therefore I have the liberty to, go little fast. Am I allowed? Yes. 4.6 gram of ethanol was mixed with 180 gram of water. So this is the mass of ethanol, that is alcohol, and this is the mass of water. What is the mole fraction of ethyl alcohol in this solution? So the number of moles of ethanol is the mass divided by its molecular mass, 46, is 0.1. And number of moles of water is the mass divided by mass by its molecular mass. 180 gram is the mass of water taken, and 18 is the molecular mass, so 10 moles of water taken. So these are mixed. So the mole fraction of ethanol is equal to number of moles of ethanol, that is 0.1, by total 0.1 plus 10, that is 10.1, and the mole fraction of ethanol is as low as 0.0099. 0.0099, so low. And the mole fraction of water is 1 minus this, it is 0.9901. Or if you be little foolish, then you can also find out is equal to the mass of the number of moles of water divided by the total number of moles of the two components. So that will be also equal to the same value. 10 by 10.1 will be 0.9901, any manner. Now, let us solve this problem. Calculate the mole fraction of ethylene glycol in a solution which is 20% W by W, or mass by mass. Ethylene glycol, the mole fraction is asked and the W by W percent is given, right? So let us solve this together. I suggest to pause the video now. Pause it. I am going away from you. As long as you have not completed the calculation, you keep this particular PPT hanging there in front of you. I am out. Bye. Done? Check. Now check whether you have done correctly or not. The mole fraction you have to find out. Now what is given here? What is given in this? This is given 20% W by W. That means mass of ethylene glycol C2H6O2 is its molecular formula is equal to 20 gram mass of solvent. Water is the solvent is equal to 100 minus 20, that is 80 grams. If it is 20%, this obviously is an aqueous solution. If nothing is said about solvent, so you presume that it is aqueous solvent, right? So 20 grams is pure ethylene glycol and 80 gram pure water. Then they find out the number of moles. So number of moles of ethylene glycol, I am writing in short, easy, ethylene glycol is equal to 20 by, what is the molecular mass? 12 twos are 24, 6, 16 twos are 32. 6 to 8, 8, 4, 12, 2, 1, 1, 4 to 6, 62. So 20 by 62. So these many number of moles. I have a calculator with me to help. So let me do that. 20 by 62. It is 0.322. And what is the number of moles of water? Is 80 by 18. 18 is the molecular mass. So 80 divided by 18, that is 4.444 recurring. So then the mole fraction of ethylene glycol X, the symbol X is usually taken. X of Eg means ethylene glycol is the number of moles of ethylene glycol by the total number of moles, 0.322 plus 4.444. So this becomes 4.322, that becomes 4.766. And if you divide 0.322 divided by 4.766, it is coming 0.675, very, very low. 0.0675. That is the mole fraction of ethylene glycol. Obviously, the the mole fraction of water will be 1 minus 0.0675, and you find out the answer. It's not also asked in this question, you are asked to find the mole fraction of ethylene glycol, right? Then we enter into another very, very important concentration expression, that is molarity. It is often given the symbol M, capital M stands for molarity. How do we define molarity? It is the number of moles, not mass, not in gram amount, but in moles. The number of moles of solute present in 1 liter or 1000 milliliters of solution. Once again, solution, not solvent. And the unit of molarity is moles per liter. These moles is the moles of the solute, and this per liter is the volume of the solution, or capital M. So in expression, a relation is molarity is equal to number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. If you find the volume of solution in liters, then this ratio will give you the molarity. Or if you have the volume in milliliter and that value is very small, then to convert it into liter, little more troublesome for you, then keep it in milliliter and multiply by 1000. So if these many milliliters contains these many moles of solute, then 1000 milliliter solution will contain how many moles of solute? That's it. Or I am very fond of this formula. If 1000 is multiplied with the number of moles, then it becomes number of millimoles. If 1000 is multiplied with the mass in gram, it becomes milligram. 1 gram is 1000 milligram. 2 gram is 2000 milligram. So this many number of moles into 1000 will be the number of millimoles. So molarity can also be defined as the number of millimoles of solute by volume of solution in milliliter. This will remain the same, but this 1000 multiplied with the number of moles to give you number of millimoles. I like this. So I used to write like this. Molarity is the number of millimole by volume in milliliter. This is the short form I write. Here I write molarity is equal to number of moles by volume in liter. So from this, the number of moles of solute is equal to molarity into the volume of solution in liter, or number of millimoles of solute is equal to same molarity into volume of the solution in milliliters. That's it. And once you get the millimoles, then you can convert it to mass. You have adequate practice and confidence to deal with mole concept. So number of moles is equal to volume of the solution in liter into molarity. And once you get the number of moles, you multiply by molecular mass to get the mass. Similarly, number of millimoles is equal to volume in milliliter into molarity. The molarity is same, common. But here volume in milliliter, here volume in liter. Here the number of millimoles, here the number of moles. So millimoles is equal to ml into molarity. So mass can be obtained once you get the number of millimoles. You kill milli. I told you to kill milli, you have to multiply by 10 to the power minus 3 or divide by 1000 into the molecular mass. Right? So once you know the number of millimoles, then millimoles is converted to mass by multiplying this data with 10 to the minus 3 to convert it to more number of moles. This milli and 10 to the minus 3 they cancel. This data with 10 to the minus 3 will give you the number of moles. And then number of moles into molecular mass will give you the mass. Right. Now, 1 molar, this is called molar solution. 1 molar or simply molar solution of any substance, say sulfuric acid, means 1 mole of sulfuric acid is present. 1 mole means 98 gram of pure sulfuric acid is present or is dissolved in enough water to make the net volume of the solution exactly 1 liter or 1000 ml. Not that you add 98 grams of pure sulfuric acid in 1 liter water. No. Take 98 grams of pure sulfuric acid and add slowly water. Beware, it's an exothermic process. You have to be very cautious while you mix pure sulfuric acid with water. That we are not going to discuss today. What is the technique that you adopt? Just theoretically we are thinking that you are taking, say, you are taking, say, a measuring flask where you have a mark here. Here is a mark. Here there is a mark in the glass. That means if you fill the entire capacity of this up to this, then it will be, say, 1 liter. Then what you do, you take exactly 98 gram of pure sulfuric acid first, and then slowly add water, shake it, add water, shake it, until the total volume of the solution is exactly 1 liter. Not that you add 1 liter water. It will be 1098 plus something. 98, maybe it may be less, because 98 ml will be less than 98. 98 ml. Gram. 98 gram. Yes, I'm so sorry. 98 gram will be less than 98 ml because it's highly dense. Density is about 1.9 1.85, 1.87. So it will be lesser. For example, if you apply the density data of pure sulfuric acid, it may be 50 ml or something like that. So 1000 ml of pure water and 50 ml of sulfuric acid, that will be 1050. But the definition says that how many number of moles of solute are present in 1 liter solution. Got it? Do not mistake the above with 1 mole of sulfuric acid in 1 liter water. This will add to nearly 1050, I was saying, which can be calculated from the density of pure sulfuric acid. 0.2 m sulfuric acid means, or 0.2 m of any solution means 0.2 mole of sulfuric acid or any other solute. In case of sulfuric acid, it is 0.2 mole means 19.6 gram of sulfuric acid present, pure sulfuric acid is present in 1 liter solution. 1 liter solution. Decimolar means m by 10. 0.1 m. Deci means 1 by 10. Deci means 1 by 10. So if you are asked decimolar solution, that it means m by 10 or 0.1 m. Right. So with this, we go to some numericals here. To save time, I have calculated here. Calculate the molarity of a solution containing 28 grams of pure sulfuric acid in 250 ml solution. Read again. Calculate the molarity of the solution containing 28 gram of pure sulfuric acid in only 250 ml solution. Now you first find out the number of moles. 28 by 98 is 2 by 7. Now put the formula method. Molarity is the number of moles, just now found out, divided by volume in liter. Just make a shift of decimal point 3 places to the right, 3 places to the left. So this is 0.25 liters. So number of moles by volume in liter, that will give you the molarity, 1.1428 capital M or moles per liter. Or you can say 2 by 7 moles by volume in milliliters into 1000. The answer will be same. Or you can go for unitary method. If 250 ml solution contains 2 by 7 mole of solute, then 1000 ml will contain 2 by 7 divided by 250 into 1000. So the answer will be again same. Now let us take up some SAQs. I suggest you to solve this of your own. Don't look at this. Rather, you solve all these of your own again without looking at this. Promise? Promise. Calculate the number of moles of solute and its mass in the following solution. Calculate the number of moles of solute and its mass in the following solutions. That is 200 ml of 0.5 m sodium carbonate. We know that this is our formula. Molarity is equal to number of moles by volume in liter, or molarity is the number of millimoles by volume in milliliters. So let us apply the mole method. So the number of moles is equal to molarity into volume in liter. So molarity is 0.5 into volume in liter. Let us make it to liter, 0.2. So 0.5 into 0.2 is 0.1. So 0.1 mole means 0.1 into its molecular mass, 106. So the answer is 10.6 gram. That is one answer. The other answer is mole wise, it is 0.1 mole. Right? The second question, 1.25 liters of decimolar KMnO4 solution. Again, volume in liter, it is already given in liter. We are lucky. 1.25 into deci means 0.1. So 1.25 into 0.1, that is the number of moles. I have not found out, is say 0.125 is the number of moles. And the mass will be 0.125 into 158. The molecular mass of KMnO4 is 158. I haven't got the answer. You get the answer. Use your calculators. Similarly, 4 liters of 6 molar HCl. So 4 into 6, so the number of moles is 24. And the mass will be 24 into 36.5 is its molecular mass. Got it? Am I becoming little faster? No. These are very simple things. And deliberately I'm increasing the pace because you will do it independent of this instructor, right? Now, don't worry. We are only 15 minutes to go. 15 minutes, I assure you. Calculate the number of millimoles here in terms of millimoles. Calculate the number of millimoles of the solute and its mass in the following solution. These questions also you could have done by millimole method. I love millimole method, milli equivalent method, as we shall see in the next video, next session, the equivalent method. Milli method is more handy because you deal with some good values like 20, 25, 60.5, 30.7, but in millimole it will be 0.0037, 0.03, 0.05, 0.03. So when you add these things, it will be a problem, In mental calculation method, you may skip some figure, thereby invite Grimm errors. So to avoid that, I suggest you to go by millimole method. So the number of millimoles is the volume in milliliter here, see, into molarity. So 400 into 0.2, that will give you 80 millimoles. So mass is equal to 80 kilmilli. If you want to kill milli, this is the number of millimoles. To kill milli, you have to multiply 10 to the minus 3. Because millimole is a smaller unit, and you are converting into bigger unit mole. So you have to divide by 1000 or multiply by 10 to the power minus 3 into, that is the number of moles, and then into molecular mass 98, and you find the mass. I have left it for you. Then 2 liters of 1m potassium dichromate solution. 2 liters. I converted it to milliliters. Here I converted it to liters, and here I convert it to milliliters. 2000 into 1. So that is 2000 millimoles. Then mass is equal to 2000 kilmilli divided by 1000 into the molecular mass of potassium dichromate is 294. And you find the final mass. Right? Now, last but not the least, 100 ml of 0.01 m iodine solution. 100 into 0.01 is only 1. So 1 millimole and mass is equal to kilmilli into 10 to the minus 3 into 254 is the molecular mass of iodine, I2, 254, and you find the mass in gram. So what we learned here? We learned that in solutions to stoichiometry, we have not yet started. Today we are looking to different types of concentration terms. Now we learn that you can get the amount of the solute just by multiplying the volume of the solution with molarity. Volume in liter into molarity will give you the number of moles of solute. That is the amount of solute. Or the volume in milliliter into molarity will give you the number of millimoles of the solute. So that's the beautiful way of analyzing an aqueous solution and follow the reaction stoichiometry in terms of volumes of solutions and their concentrations, molarity. Now, how to interconvert between molarity and the other two, W by V and W by W. Now, W by W is to be determined by the density data, but molarity and W by V percent both deal with the volume of the solution. So they are interconvertible without density data, but W by W percent requires the density data. Of course, W by W percent and mole fraction, they can be interconverted without density data, because both they are based on mass and moles, not volume of the solution. So molarity and W by V percent can be interconverted without the density data, solution density data. But the above two, that means these two, can be interconverted with W by W with the help of density of the solution data. Have a look. Calculate the molarity and W by V percent of sulfuric acid solution, which is 80% W by W. And density of the solution has to be there, 1.727 gram per milliliters. Now let's start from density. M by V, which is 1.727. Since it is W by W, let us take mass of the solution as 100. Find V. V is as low as 57.903 milliliters. So to find W by V, we have done several times before in this lecture. Mass of the solute is same, 80, but now the volume of the solution is this into 100, 138.16%. Now molarity, again formula method. 80 grams is equal to 80 by 98. Immediately convert to its mole here in the numerator part. Or if you have no confidence, then find the number of moles separately in a separate place, right? So here I did it in one go. 80 by 98 divided by the volume of the solution in milliliters into 1000. So I got, it's a 14.09 molar solution. It's a very concentrated solution. More is the molarity, more is the W by W percent, more is the W by V percent of a solution, more is its concentration. It is a more and more concentrated solution. Now this is another problem where I will be giving you the molarity data, 12 molar solution, same sulfuric acid, and you are asked to find out what is its W by W percent and and also W by V percent. The density data has to be given. 12 molar means 12 mole of pure sulfuric acid present in 1 liter solution. 12 m means 12 mole of pure sulfuric acid is present in 1 liter solution. So what is the mass of 12 moles? 12 into 98 is 1176 gram. So you can find out, I told you that W by V percent can be easily converted to molarity and vice versa without density data. So it is the mass of the solute, 12 moles means this is the mass of the solute, divided by 1 liter contains 12 moles. So by 1 liter, that means 1000 ml into 100. So this gives 117.6% is the W by V percent. And to convert it to W by W, you have to use density. Mass, let us take 1000 here. 1000 ml as the volume of the solution. Because it is molarity, it is in 1 liter solution, 12 moles. So therefore, we took 1000 ml or 1 liter. And the mass of 1 liter is 1800 grams. So W by W percent is the mass of this solute, that is 1176. Because in 1 liter solution, 12 moles are present. 12 moles means 1176 gram. So the mass of the solute by the mass of the entire solution of 1000 ml, which is 1800 grams into 100. So W by W percent is 65.33. Got it? Am I becoming faster? If I close this session and make another session for the remaining portion, it will be better for some, but let us finish. Should we take a pause? Take a pause. Take a glass of water. I am also taking. I am pausing now. Ready? Ready? Now, this we have completed. We have found out W by V percent. We have also found out W by W percent by using density data. But I suggest that you write down, you pause this video, and of course you have already done, you have seen, I have explained you So no meaning of telling all these things. Now let us proceed. Molality is the final way of expressing concentration. There is another way, a very primitive way, of course, but it is useful in some measurements. We shall study in the measurements of colligative properties. You have to use molality. What is molality? Molality is the number of moles of solute, similar to molarity in the numerator part. Number of moles of solute present in 1 kg or 1000 gram of solvent. The first time you are using pure solvent as the way of expressing concentration. So far we are taking the entire solution mass, entire solution volume, like that. But here only pure solvent. Per 1000 grams of pure solvent, what is the what is the number of moles of solute? So in a mathematical expression, molality is the number of moles of solute by mass of the solvent in kg. If you take it in kg, then this ratio gives molality. But I'm not interested in kg. I'm interested in mass of the solvent in gram. If you use the solvent mass in gram, then you have to multiply by 1000. So in 1000 grams of solvent or per 1000 grams of solvent water, how many moles? Maybe water or maybe any solvent. In colligative properties, we have different solvents. Because it is stoichiometry, we'll be doing in aqueous solution. But in colligative properties, in our separate program, we will find we can use all other different solvents. So it is the number of moles of solute that is present per 1000 grams of solvent. So its unit is moles per kg, or sometimes small m. Sometimes the symbol small m is used to express molality, but it is highly confusing. Small m can be mistaken as mass. So it is better to write moles per kg. This moles is the number of moles of solute. This kg is per kg of solvent, pure solvent. Right? Let's solve a problem. Then you will be crystal clear. It will be crystal clear what is the difference between molality and molarity. 1 mole kg inverse or 1 molal solution. This is not an example. This is an explanation. 1 molal. This is called molal. This we can call 1 molal. Let me write down here. And if you are following me, okay, I forgot to tell you one thing. If you are really following me, I am convinced that some of you, may not that number is high, but some of you are really following this instructor, trying to get some benefit out of the experience of the instructor. If you are doing that, have you subscribed to my channel? Subscription is not payment. Subscription is simply just clicking on the subscribe button. That's it. By that you get all notifications of all my videos that I'll be doing either for class 11, 12 or the lower classes in vernacular mediums. But for 11, 12, always English for the international students as well. So this is 1 molal. So subscribe to my channel, SST Chemistry YouTube channel, and as well, I have a strong reservation that many of you are viewing and not, I'm also a part of it. Many of us are viewing different videos and we are liking it, no doubt, but we don't have a time, a fraction of a moment time just to click on the like button. Otherwise you might have noticed that a particular video has several millions of viewers, but the number of likes will be much less. Why? Does it really reflect the actual number of likes? No, sometimes we are a little lazy to click on the like button. Do it, please. Now, 1 molal, this 1 m, small m means 1 molal. It's not molar. Molar is a 1 capital M. 1 mole per liter solution. This is 1 mole per 1 kg solvent. 1 molal. Of KCl means 1 mole of KCl, that is 74.5 gram, is mixed with 1000 gram or 1 kg of water. So the total mass of the solution is 1074.5. So molality is now the only partner for W by W percent. Molality doesn't take solution volume into account. So also W by W percent. So these two can be interconverted without the density data. Right? Now take this. This is the real example. Calculate the molality of the solution obtained by mixing 28 gram of pure sulfuric acid with 100 gram water. So the number of moles will be 28 by 98 is 2 by 7. Hence molality, we apply the formula method, number of moles of solute 2 by 7 by the mass of the solvent in kg. So 100 gram is 1.1 kg. So we get 2.857 moles per kg or small m. Or in my method, 2 by 7 number of moles divided by the mass of pure solvent 100 into 1000. That gives the same result. Now, to convert W by W or mole fraction into molality and vice versa, this is extremely easy. In this, I have taken a problem to show how easily we can convert molality into mole fraction or vice versa. This question says, calculate the molality of a solution of benzoic acid. Here I change the solvent. It's not aqueous solution. Just for the sake of determining or converting molality into mole fraction or mole fraction into molality. Calculate the molality of a solution of benzoic acid, that is the solute, in benzene, which is the solvent, having mole fraction of benzene equals to 0.8. So mole fraction of benzene means the number of moles of benzene by the number of moles of benzene plus number of moles of the solute benzoic acid. If that is 0.8, that means out of 1 mole, if 0.8 mole is benzene, then if 0.8 mole is benzene, then 1 minus 0.8, that is 0.2 mole is benzoic acid, the solute. Then we can convert into mass. Mass of 0.8 mole of benzene, because in the denominator for molality we have the mass, but in the numerator we have the moles. So we need not have to convert this 0.2 moles of benzoic acid into mass, because we need moles. Why to convert it into mass? So this is 0.2 and the mass of 0.8 mole of the solvent benzene is 0.8 into its molecular mass. C6H6, 12 6 are 72 plus 6, 78. That gives to 62.4 gram of benzene, and this is the number of moles of solute benzoic acid into 1000. So the molality of the solution is 3.205 moles per kg. That means 3.205 moles of benzoic acid is present per 1 kg of pure benzene solvent. Then this is possibly the last one where then normality, normality, then relationship between normality and molarity, then assignments. Okay, we will take I think 10 minutes more. This one, you are asked to find the molarity, W by V percent, all the concentrations that we have so far discussed, W by V percent of a sulfuric acid solution, which is 98% W by W. So the data is W by W percent, and you are asked to find W by V, molarity. Of course, the density data has to be there. It is there. So we start from here. molarity. Now here the density data is first found out. Density is 100 by V. Let us take 100 grams of the solution. V becomes as low as 54.64. So W by V percent is 98 divided by the volume of 100 gram is 54.64 into 100. So the volume W by V percent is 179.48. So this is one answer. The other answer is molarity. The number of moles, 98 grams is 1 mole, 98 by 98 divided by the volume of the solution, 54.64 into 1000. So the molarity is 18.3 molar. This is another answer. Then to find molality, and molality is where I have got molality somewhere here. Where is molality? Now molality is here. This is molarity is here, so I don't know why I have written this. I don't understand. So the molality is here. Number of moles same as molarity. And what is the mass of the solvent? Mass of the pure water is 100 minus 98. You have to take only pure water. This is the only case where you take pure solvent. So 100 minus 98 is pure water 2. So the molality is number of moles of solute, 98 by 98, that is 1, by mass of the solvent 2 into 1000. So the molality is 5000 moles per liter, moles per kg, or small m. This is moles per kg. So we got the molality is 500 molal, and molarity is 18.3 molar. W by V percent 179.48%. So this data was I think I wrote very wrongly somewhere, right? Now most important factor is the temperature. Since W by V percent, ppm W by V, ppb W by V, molarity, normality, just now we shall study, these are volume dependent. Therefore these concentrations, they differ. They in fact decreases mostly with increase in temperature, because there is a volume expansion. When temperature increases, there is a volume expansion, and 1 liter will no longer remain 1 liter. It may be 1.15 liters at high temperature. So that ratio will be different. So W by V percent, ppm, W by V type of ppm, W by V type of ppb, molarity, normality, they are all temperature dependent. But the one which is independent of volume, dependent only mass, W by W, molality, ppm, W by W, ppb, W by W, and mole fractions, they are independent of any change of temperature, right? And last but not the least, this will be very, very important. You might be feeling little restless and monotonous. If so, then pause the video, go somewhere, relax for a while. If you are a student and you are staying with your parents, you ask your mommy to give you a drink of a cup of hot milk or hot Bournvita or something, so that you freshen up your mind and start normality once again with me. Pause it. Keep a break. Normality is the one which we'll be needing to use in normality method of solving stoichiometric calculation in titration experiments, particularly titration experiments. So what is normality? Normality is the number of equivalents, EQs, or gram equivalents of solute present in 1 liter solution. Once again, solution is the only difference between molarity and normality is here, there it was number of moles, and here it is the number of equivalents. But solution is wise, it is 1 liter solution here, 1 liter solution there. So normality is equal to number of EQs or equivalents of solute by the volume of solution in liter. But I am not interested in liter. I can use in the volume of solution in milliliters, and therefore you have to multiply by 1000. And if you multiply by 1000 to number of equivalents, it will be giving you number of milliequivalents. I am mostly fond of this. So normality has another definition like molarity, number of milliequivalents. Shortly we write MEQs of the solute divided by volume of solution in milliliter, because this will go into, it will multiplied with the number of equivalents to give you number of milliequivalents, but this will remain. So and the symbol used is capital N, but it should be gram equivalent per liter. Gram equivalent of solute present per liter of the solution. Capital N, 2N, 3N, decinormal 0.1N, so on and so forth. 36N, like that. So equivalent, number of equivalents, as you know, is the mass by equivalent mass. Just like number of moles is equal to mass by molecular mass, number of EQs is mass by equivalent mass. Now, to put it in a very handy and shortcut way, normality is equal to number of EQs by volume in liter, or number of EQs is equal to normality into volume in liter. Just like molarity into volume in liter was number of moles, similarly number volume in liters into normality is equal to number of EQs. And my way, normality is also equal to MEQs by ml. So MEQs, number of milliequivalents, is equal to normality into volume in milliliter. And once you get the milliequivalent or equivalent, you multiply by equivalent mass to get mass. If it is milliequivalents, kill milli by multiplying with 10 to the minus 3, again multiply by equivalent mass. So you will play with this chemical arithmetic once your fundamentals are strong and you keep a practice. Just by listening to the instructor, understanding will not help you in long run unless you practice. Now let us solve. Calculate the molarity and normality of the following solutions. And let us compare. How can we correlate between the two? Is there any factor? Can you guess? Can you guess? Yes, it is the N factor. The N factor multiplied by, you remember, number of moles, we are giving number of equivalents. Here also same thing. The N factor multiplied by molarity will give you the normality. Right? So let's find out that. 7 gram of sulfuric acid is present in 100 ml solution. So this is A. B, I think you will do of your own. So number of moles of sulfuric acid is 7 by 98, is 1 by 14. So molarity is 1 by 14 divided by volume of solution in milliliter into 1000. So 10 by 14, 5 by 7, capital M. Number of equivalents is equal to 7 by 49. Because if no mention about the reaction equation, then you will presume that the basicity is 2, it is completely neutralized. So 7 by 49 is its equivalent mass. The N factor is 2 here. So 1 by 7. So normality, just now we learned normality is the number of EQs, 1 by 7 divided by volume in liter, 0.1 directly, or by 100 into 1000, same thing. I showed my way, milliliter. Here, your way, it is 0.1 liter. So that gives you 10 by 7. So how these two are related? Molarity numerically is smaller than normality, just like number of EQs were smaller than number of moles. If they are at all, they are different. So how they are correlated? This correlation is very simple. Or my way, 1 by 7 by volume of solution in milliliter into 1000. So, or in some others way, in unitary method, if 100 ml solution contains 1 by 7 EQs of solute, then 1000 ml contains how many EQs of the solute? 10 by 7. So normality is equal to 10 by 7 N. Now the second one you do at independent of me and tally. I will be giving you the link, right? And what is the relationship? And here I have taken KMnO4 as a solute which is to be used as an oxidant in acidic medium, but the N factor is 5. You remember? So 1.58 gram of KMnO4 in 50 ml solution. What is its normality and molarity? So it's very simple. 1.58 by 158 is the number of moles. So number of moles by volume in milliliter into 1000. The molarity is 0.2 m. Can we simply multiply by 5 and get the normality? Yes, 5 into 0.2 is 1. And we are getting also same by calculation. The number of equivalents is equal to mass by equivalent mass, which is 31.6 because the N factor is 5. 158 by 5. So you are getting number of EQs is 0.05. So number of EQs by volume in liters. It is 50 ml. So 50 ml means 0.05 liters. So it is 1 N. So normality is equal to N factor into molarity. So these self-assessment questions you do. In the previous example, inspect the relationship between normality and molarity. Normality is 2 into molarity. 5 by 7 we got molarity and multiplied by 2, the N factor will give you normality. Similarly, in the second question, the molarity was 0.2 and the N factor of KMnO4 as an oxidant in acidic medium is 5, so 1N since N factor is 5. And these SAQs you do of your own, calculate the number of equivalents of solute present in the following solution, also find the mass of the solute. So here now you have to find out the molarity, normality is given. So once you multiply the number of milliliters, volume in milliliters into normality, that will give you the number of milliequivalents, or the volume in liter into normality will give you number of equivalents. So I have done it two ways. One is in your way perhaps, I find many number of equivalents is 0.25 liters into 0.1. 0.25 into 0.1 is 0.025. And then mass, don't be confused, I have found out the mass above number of equivalents. It should be below that. So mass is equal to number of equivalents into equivalent mass of sodium carbonate is 106 by 2, 53. So it is coming 1.325 gram. Similarly, you can find out 3 liters of 0.05 N potassium dichromate is how many equivalents and how many gram. You can do it here. So 3 into 0.05, it is already in liter. So this is 0.15. This is EQs. Then mass is equal to 0.15 into equivalent mass, it is 49. You remember potassium dichromate is the molecular mass was 294 and the N factor was 6. 294 by 6, it was 49. So this will be whatever will be the mass of that, the solute amount present in 3 liters of 0.05 N potassium dichromate. Again, you are asked to find out the number of milliequivalents, my favorite, of solute present in the solution. Also find the mass. So for example, we answer A, 500 volume in milliliter into normality will give you the number of milliequivalents. And mass, you know, you have to kill milli, 50 into 10 to the power minus 3 into equivalent mass of NaOH is 40, same as its molecular mass. So whatever will be gram, you find out. You find out, please. We are getting little delayed. And the second one, B, will be volume in milliliter 30 into 2, 60 milliequivalents. And how to get mass? You kill milli, 60 by 1000 into equivalent mass of oxalic acid is molecular mass by 2, because it is to be used as a reductant. We have seen that when it is a reductant, then it goes from +3 to +4 carbon dioxide. The change is 1 for 1 carbon atom, but there are 2 carbon atoms. So the total change is 2. So the N factor is 2, its molecular mass is 90, 90 by 2 is 45. Please check, because it is being recorded. And if there is some silly mistake, then please don't mind. Bear with the silly mistakes. And to err is human and to rectify is human. And so you rectify. may not be possible for me to overhaul this entire video. So this is 2 plus 24 plus 64. Yes, 90 by 245. So whatever you calculate, this will be in gram. So this is another self-assessment question. Calculate the molarity of the following solutions. 0.5 n. So first you find the normality. It is given 0.5. So simply the n factor is to be divided. The n factor, so molarity is equal to 0.5 by 1. Because ferrous sulfate as a reductant, the change in oxidation number is 1. Plus 2 to ferric ion. This is plus 3. So change is 1, the n factor is 1. So 0.5 normal is same as 0.5 molar. But sulfuric acid, the n factor is 2 as an acid. So the molarity is 36 by 2 is 18 m. I tell you and I remind you that molarity is normality by n factor, or normality is equal to molarity into n factor. So this is normality divided by the n factor will give you the molarity. Numerically molarity is less, if at all they are different. Similarly, calculate the normality and molarity. It's becoming molarity. I am so sorry. This is molarity of the following solution. 0.1 m sodium thiosulfate to be used as a reductant in iodimetry. We shall study that. What is iodimetry? Hold on. Then that will be, this 0.1 into the n factor is 1, because sodium thiosulfate will be converted to sodium tetrathionate. If you have forgotten, you look to the lecture notes. The n factor is 1. So same as its molarity. Molarity is 0.1. So normality is also 0.1. This one. And this one, the n factor is 1. So 10 m is also same as 10 n. Potassium dichromate, the n factor is 6. So 0.01, the normality is equal to 0.01 into 6 is 0.06 n, right? So for getting normality, you multiply the n factor with molarity, and to get molarity, you divide the n factor with molarity, with normality, I'm sorry. To get molarity, you divide the n factor with normality to get a numerically lesser value. So you do this, this is the assignment. So we are almost at the end. Why shall we leave it? Let us discuss. Calculate the normality, molality of sulfuric acid solution containing 1.4 gram of pure sulfuric acid in 50 ml solution. Assume the density of the solution is 1.2 gram per milliliter. Also calculate W by W and W by V percent. Nothing is left out. This is the ultimate climax where nothing is left out. Of course, ppm, ppb, they are left out. Mole fraction is left out. So let us solve this. Now, don't worry, 2 minutes more. This is the mass of the solute is 1.4 gram and the volume of the solution is equal to 50 ml. So we can very easily find out those which do not relate with mass volume. So let us find out first W by V percent, this one. So it is the mass of the solute divided by the volume of the solution in 200. So you do it, it will be 2.8% W by V. This is 2.8%. And to find the molarity is extremely easy. 1.4 gram divided by 98 is its number of moles. Same 50, but here it will be 1000 in 1 liter solution. So you find out how many m molarity. It's task for you. And molality and other things, they need density data, right? Density. Let us take the let us find out the density of 50 ml solution. The mass of 50 ml solution. So mass by 50 ml is equal to 1.4, which means mass is 50 into 1.4. This is 70 grams. So 70 grams is the mass of 50 ml solution. To find W by W percent is very easy. That mass of the solute is 1.4. 1.4 by mass of the solution is 70 into 100. So you find out that is W by W percent. Now you are left with only one thing. Tell me what? Molality. Let me do one thing. Let me take a different color and annotate there itself in a different color. Let me do it in green. Now here, so what is the mass? Out of 70 gram, you have 1.4 gram of pure solute. So what is the mass of solvent? Mass of solvent is equal to 70 minus 1.4. That is, this is 0.6 and this is 68.6. So this is the mass of pure solvent. Then what is molality? Number of moles of solute, that is 1.4 by 98, just like we did it for molarity, divided by the mass of the pure solvent, 68.6 gram into 1000. That will be small m, or moles per kg of solvent, or small m, right? So we conclude. I have so many assignments for you. Take time. Don't be in a haste to complete all this. But if you complete these assignments, you will definitely have a good grip on stoichiometry. I can assure you. So these are 20 problems, and there is another practice. It's not level 2, same level 1, all very simple. And another 11 additional practice problem, 12. That is the end of today's class. If you like it, if you not subscribed, bye-bye.